If you're feeling stuck and tired, you need to stop what you're doing and watch this video right now. Greetings everyone, and welcome to another video here at Winscope, where we talk about all things personal development. Burnout is a very common thing nowadays, and for good reasons, because hustle culture is very real, and social media is not the root cause. It's merely a catalyst, because apparently we are perfectly capable of running ourselves into the ground without needing to compare ourselves to other people. And it's not about being bad at what you do. Quite the opposite. Being insanely good at what you do can also make you the victim of your own productivity. Here's why. When you start out learning to do something, it's a challenge, and so your mind is focused. You're always paying attention, responding to new information that are coming in your way. There's always this sense of excitement. As you become more skilled at what you do, things become less challenging. And as that happens, more and more, you start to operate out of familiarity, requiring less than your full attention. Pretty soon, your actions are automated. Even though you've become more efficient, you're disconnected with what you do. There's no longer that excitement or passion, but your mind is still constantly racing with this sense of urgency that you need to do something. You get to this point, one of two things will happen. One is you might wear yourself out, or two, you're able to keep going, but with a noticeable drop in quality. Grinding and putting in more work is not rewarding you the usual progress as before, and you're stuck even though you frustratingly want to make progress. Let me tell you how to get yourself out of this mess, which I've found myself in multiple times, and it's not going to be very intuitive. Stop what you're doing and take deep, slow breaths. That's the first thing that you need to do. You see, our brain is a library of information, and one amazing thing that our brain does naturally is to connect these information into new, fresh, and creative ideas, which is especially useful when we need new approaches or see things from different perspectives. However, most of us drown ourselves in thoughts or other activities before our brain gets the chance to do so. You can't force out good ideas by overthinking. Instead, good ideas will come to you during an empty mind, which is why many people get good ideas in the shower. Going against that urge to occupy ourselves will allow us to disengage and then reposition ourselves as an observer and widen our perspectives to see the big picture. Which brings me to the next point. When you're stuck and frustrated, you're likely to have this condition called the tunnel vision, where you're only fixated on what's in front of you, preventing you from seeing the big picture. Imagine yourself standing in front of a wall and it's the only thing that you see. In order to see and understand what that wall is a part of, like a building, you need to take a step back and then look at it from a distance. A similar thing applies when you're not really making progress. Only after you're able to distance yourself from a problem will you be able to account for all the factors and then understand what you need to do differently. Distancing can also help you gain clarity on yourself, because burning out can make you do things just for the sake of doing it, and it's never a good place to be. Instead, reconnect with your inner self. Explore your thoughts, your feelings, your passions. What works for me is to ask yourself this question: what do you want? Allow some time to let it sink in and just think about it. You can think of the question in short term or long term. It doesn't really matter, as long as you're trying to figure out what you want. And the answer doesn't have to appeal to anyone. Remember, it's what you want, not what others think you should want. Once you have an idea of that answer, now ask yourself, are you happy with where you are now, what you're doing? Is there an alignment between your answer just then and what's going on in your life right now? Or are they the complete opposite? Again, once you figure that out, the final thing I want you to do is to just think of one thing, just one thing that you think you should do right now in order to just get yourself at least a bit closer from where you are now to what you want. And you don't need a complete plan or a timeline. Just keep it simple with one thing that you can do. Do you need to initiate a talk with someone close to you, your boss maybe? Do you need to get started with something, a project, school? Do you need to quit doing something? Stop seeing someone, a bad habit, a toxic person maybe? Keep it simple and honest. It doesn't have to take you towards the right direction right now, but it just has to take you towards a different direction. I'm sure you have an answer in mind, but you just haven't given yourself enough time to let it come to you. Slowing down is about disengaging and becoming an observer, creating that distance between yourself and what you do to allow for creativity and clarity to take place. Taking that risk to slow down and observe and self-reflect will allow you to regain traction, start making progress again, but at a much faster rate. And it has nothing to do with doing as much as possible. So that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments if this has been helpful. Share your experience down below in the comments. Again, if you like content like this, be sure to hit that like button and click subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Windscope out.